Welcome to Gear Check Games. This is part 12 of the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition. This is the 12th and final episode of...
George is actually trying. He's trying his best.
This 12th and final episode of Halo Combat Evolved. Fucking no one's paying attention. Welcome back.
It's time to finish the fight. Bang.
Okay, we said whoever says that is banned.
I said it.
Joe said
And then
that.
I shot myself with my invisible gun.
He didn't want the rest of us to steal his joke.
Yeah.
He thought it was that
And you
good.
took the bait, you fools.
How cunning.
So really, all things considered, that ship is pretty well intact after slamming into the ground.
It still looks like a giant gun.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the point.
Fair enough.
So,
Oh, the antennas
Look,
are down.
there's the muzzle at the end or whatever it's called.
yes.
Well, that sure
There's
is
even like a little hole there.
Okay,
I'm sad that all the guns are like droopy.
something that I explained in the first episode and probably got talked over as well there is, all of the human ships are built around giant railguns. It is the only
I remember that.
combat-effective weapon the humans have against the Covenant
Ooh,
ships.
just barely missed it.
I love just how much more
Classic Chief.
quirky and like with heart this original one
How
was.
did he?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. How did he get out of that?
Is this
That thing opens from below.
is this game gonna end with "That's all, folks" and Master Chief coming out of like a big circle? Which Looney Tunes character is Master Chief?
He's green.
He's
But
Marvin the
he's
Martian.
Why are you walking so slow?
He's lore walking.
Yeah. I wanted to experience the music. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I actually edited out my first death already because I didn't throw a grenade down that hole. And there's like
Oh,
100 of those explodey guys.
There are
carrier
enough to
forms.
actually more or less overwhelm your shields on anything that's harder
Yeah.
than normal.
And they're like, that's the first encounter with enemies you have in this level. It's like, oh, great. This final level is like already kicking my ass.
It actually isn't the first encounter you have with enemies in the level. There are sentinels that come into the docking ports behind you as you start the level.
Oh, but if you're like not there, they just like F off.
Yeah.
Are those little
like-
robot guys, or
Yes, the sentinels are the little floaty laser boys.
See, I did not know that because I never hang around there long enough.
Yep.
Metroid
They
Prime
will-
enemies, to be precise?
Yes. They will come out. They don't act. Their like combat scripts, like actual programming, doesn't start until they've like completely gotten into the hallway. So like one of the fun things you can do is you can just go and stand in front of one of them and push it back out, and it will just be like, "Please, sir, let me past you."
I love that in games.
You shall not
So-
pass.
That's like the floody buddy I tried to push onto the elevator. I don't know why I didn't punch him, because they can take a buttload of punches.
Yeah, they take very little damage. I love
Speaking
that
of
they do
Metroid
this.
Prime, there's one of those guys from earlier.
Yes,
Those big, burly dudes. Now
hunters.
he's done.
Yes, that shotgun spawns without ammo.
Oh, there he is.
That's so mean of the developers to do.
Yeah.
It's like, I want this gun, but there's nothing in it.
So of note, the little popcorn guys are actually really effective against the hunters.
Yeah.
Hence
They distract the
giant,
hell out of them, too.
Yeah, hence the giant, high sea bath on the floor.
It does look like I see.
It's the end of Evangelion.
Oh boy.
Oh god, it's Tang.
A kick in the glass.
I love that Tang is just like the universal term for it.
Yeah.
Like every Evangelion fan that I've talked to has all called it Tang, like without talking to each other.
So despite being a huge anime mecha fan, I haven't seen Evangelion yet.
See, I'm only old enough to know Tang as a kick in the glass and in a pouch, so...
Are those the advertisements they had in the late 90s, early 2000s with the actual orangutan?
Yeah, or was it a chimpanzee?
I thought it was an
can't remember.
orangutan.
You're probably
because,
right.
You know,
Well-
Tang.
Okay, I'm sorry. Of course it was an orangutan.
I remember I watched the end of Evangelion with one of my friends, and we actually like drank Tang while watching it.
So like halfway through your glass, you look at the screen and you're like, ugh.
It'd be like watching the DK rap while eating walnuts, peanuts, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells. And smelling a pineapple.
And pineapple
No,
smells.
you don't eat a pineapple smell, you just smell
You
it.
just like huff the pineapple.
You just get like a car air freshener that smells like pineapple and dangle it in front of you while you watch it. I'm in the mood now.
I mean, I've
play
definitely
this
never done that.
Oh, that was a graphical glitch. Oh man. This game was really pushing the 360.
Yeah.
This Xbox
Which is
game?
weird. Yeah.
I mean, the anniversary edition is one. It's emulated in a
Right,
sense
yeah.
that, like, emulating the original Halo, and the graphical update, and the ability to hot swap between the two.
What to do?
Yeah, it takes a surprising amount of processing power to run this Xbox original.
Oh my god, I
game.
forgot about that line. So basically, what just happened there, right, is the monitor has stopped the automatic detonation of the ship, and the chief's just like, listen, what would it take to actually overload the reactor physically? And she's like, a couple grenades, and he's just like, uff, uff.
Oh, but I only have
So-
one.
So on Legendary, if you're in that bridge too long and just stand there, like, the Sentinels are incredibly accurate and they'll just fry you in seconds.
Yeah.
On Legendary, you actually just die during that cutscene.
Well, that
See
is
you
a kind of
again, folks.
wonky cutscene. So you know how they
Literally
destroyed the computer panel there? If you skip the
Yeah.
cutscene, the computer panel won't actually end up being destroyed.
Oh.
And not only that, if it's still alive after the cutscene, it is invulnerable. So it is actually useful to skip that cutscene on harder difficulties
Oh.
Nice.
So
because
they just can't fire at you if you skip the...
yeah,
And is skipping that cutscene the only way to do a no-hit run?
more or less, really.
Wait, a no-hit run? Is that a thing?
I would hope not, because that's rough. There is so much. The Covenant certainly have a doctrine of accuracy through volume of fire.
We'll get them eventually.
I mean, if you fill the entire air with bubbling hot plasma, you're bound to hit at least
It's
sometime.
It's
a
the
bullet hell game with hit scan weapons.
it's the
Exactly.
flood equivalent of 1,000 monkeys working at 1,000 typewriters.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, these are the first shield Sentinels we run across.
Yep.
These guys take 2 hits instead of 1.
Man. So, I recently started replaying Wonderful 101, and as you can tell from the names, there's like 101 guys, although at the beginning it's just 100 guys. And the organization that they're part of is called the Sentinels, but with a C instead of an S. And it like took me a while, and I was like, "Oh my God, Sent 100! It's genius."
Sentinels.
I like
So
that.
when are you gonna play
That game-
Wonderful 101 for us, Dan?
I would love to, but I don't have a capture card for the Wii.
Well, you don't
U,
have
and I don't think I'm gonna
$200
buy
laying
one.
around?
Yeah, and I don't think I'm gonna buy one for just one game.
Right. So as a fellow Pikmin fan, would Wonderful 101 scratch that itch for me?
They're like completely different games.
Yeah.
It's closer to like Bayonetta
Yeah,
or Devil May Cry
if you're into
than it
like
is to
platinum
Pikmin.
games, well, Wonderful 101 is a platinum game, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see, Platinum makes one game again and again and again, and it's somehow great every
Hey.
time.
hey, not the Ninja Turtles crappy game. Wait, no.
They made a Ninja Turtles game?
Yeah, and apparently it was kind of a wake-up call for the studio, like, crap, we need to make something that isn't just
Ew.
like a Bayonetta clone.
And it was
Well, they made a Transformers game too.
Yeah.
But that was just a Bayonetta
I
clone.
think people liked that one.
I heard that the Transformers game was well received. Like, it wasn't groundbreaking or anything, but for what it was at least good.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing Platinum, I'm guessing a large reason that people loved it was because it had a bunch of like Transformers fan service.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It just had a bunch of random, like, Hideki Kamiya fan service.
But
It just has pictures of his waifu. That's a deep cut reference. I don't know how many of our viewers are gonna get that one.
well, I don't get it, so. But one thing I do want to call back to is
It's a reference to a dream that another YouTuber
oh
had.
boy,
Oh my god, now
so-
okay, I get that.
Trey passed through the cryotube control area that we saw
Yeah.
above
Yeah.
you on the first level, and I want to say that on anything harder than normal, that room is really, really hard
It's absolute bullshit. I hate that room
because
so much.
they just send so many flood through that little hallway again and again. And if you
God.
don't manage to push through it, they just spawn another wave.
Yeah. Oh, he dodged
I just
me.
want to say I love how when the hunters are getting swarmed by flood, they look like a preschool teacher herding toddlers.
Pretty much.
They got like their arms out, like trying to catch him. Like, hold on.
Now,
quit
children,
running
single
around."
file.
Who knew that hunters were actually incredibly, like, parental?
Yeah.
Despite the fuel rod cannon and the big shield and the muscles and the grumpiness.
Don't let their looks deceive
I
you.
mean, to
They're
be
actually
fair,
quite benevolent.
if we gave kindergarten teachers fuel rod cannons for arms, I think students would be a lot more well behaved.
I'll do my times tables, I swear.
Trent, do you really want to
Honestly,
die on this hill, dude?
No.
Okay.
Honestly, a hunter would make for the perfect preschool teacher because it's already like a million babies in a trench coat.
The trench coat is just, a hyper dense metal alloy.
100 babies in a trench coat.
Engine room located.
I'm sorry, that image is now.
It's like an Akira mass of like babies, like just squirming around.
We are the toddler collective.
Alrighty, so in this room, there's a lot of explosives.
And a lot of N64 textures.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're playing GoldenEye now.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
right.
it makes me think of.
So that room has cloaked flood in it. That's why I threw that grenade back there so they wouldn't follow me.
Yep.
Oh. Neat.
There's like very few cloaked floods, but the ammo room is one of them.
Those are the
I'm just
only
like, I
ones,
don't wanna do-
actually.
For real?
Yep.
They don't- Dang.
It is the only ones.
Oh,
We didn't even get to see 'em.
I'm actually not even sure that they spawn on normal.
Oh.
It has been a long time since I played the normal difficulty.
I just know when I was playing it on heroic for my test run,
Yeah, they will spawn on
they-
heroic.
they will gank you, and since it's so dark in that room, like you
Oh
just
yeah,
literally
it
can't see
is
'em.
difficult to see them. Like I
Yeah.
imagine it's a little bit better on updated graphics since like they put just far more lights than there ever actually were. But yeah, those flood can be a good spooking.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, these guys. Yeah, this is another part of the game where they're just like, we'll make this level hard by just throwing lots of guys at you.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of guys.
But I really enjoyed this part. Like it is the same Pillar of Autumn level, but you go through it in such a different way.
Yeah.
Master Chief has to destroy the Halo by going to all the vending machines on the ship.
Pretty much.
Aw, they're out of Cheetos.
I needed those Cheetos. We can only defeat the
Cortana's
flood.
just like, Cheetos or bust, Chief, alright? We had a deal.
I like to think that when she taps into his suit, she also taps into like everything
You
else.
have to overload the Resnactor core by replacing the Cheetos with flaming hot Cheetos.
Oh, I'm okay.
If these-
I'm a huge fan of Kerbal Space Program. I'm only just now imagining like Kerbal warships are run off of snack reactors. Because the Kerbals like snacks.
I like to think that if the Cheetos stay in the reactor too long, they'll turn into like super dry Gardettos.
God.
So is Kerbal just like... Is Kerbal just minions for, like, smart people?
Yes.
They're sminions. They're smart minions.
Well, the
It's minions
Kerbals
for people
themselves
that
aren't exactly
know how to
smart.
make rocket ships.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I tried to actually shoot the monitor to see what would happen. He's immune.
Yep, he's just immune.
Yeah.
You don't get to kill him until 3 games from now. Well,
Oh,
the
God, you're
3rd
right.
game. But,
I need him.
What is he, Captain Quark?
yes.
I forgot how he goes out. Does he get fried or what happens?
No, you laser him.
What you do? Oh yeah, you literally have to. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
now.
Well,
That's a good
and
fight.
So I explained the infinite ammo Spartan laser glitch to these lads in between recording sessions. That's why that glitch works, because what happens is 343 kills Sergeant Johnson, who has a Spartan laser, and you have to pick the Spartan laser up.
Spoilers.
And, yes. You guys will have forgotten by the time we get around to playing Halo 3. And to prevent you from soft locking the game by missing the 4 smart laser shots, because it only has 4 ammo, they made it infinite ammo. So, because it is,
It's basically like a really powerful Samus's charge shot.
yeah,
But like instead of being able to hold it, it has to like ramp up and then it just goes. Like you can't hold it.
yep.
I'm sorry,
well,
Dan said something earlier that just got my mind racing. I'm now imagining a game.
About the Resnactor Corps?
No, Halo is exactly the same game, except instead of Captain Keys, it's Captain Quark from Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, that's
my
the
It's
part,
the
yeah.
exact same game, just with
You know,
him.
that would be a very different game.
Yeah, you have to, like,
Captain
rip
Quark
his
is-
transmitter chip out of his, like, chin.
The
Oh,
greatest strategist in the galaxy.
That flood was Sentinel surfing.
Yeah. I don't know what was going on there.
They basically just spawn another lot of enemies for you to fight, and
God.
the navigation is sometimes not the best.
They just the flood and the sentinels just spawn infinitely in this room, don't they?
Yep. Because
You
you
just have to,
are
like-
taking far longer in this than is intended.
Oh yeah, because I fell on the second one on accident, and I didn't get the jump back up. Like sometimes you can miss the jump to get back up on the top platform.
You can-
once you.
So the easiest way is obviously to jump from the dark brown cap at the end of the arm, but you can
Yeah.
just jump from the light brown bit too and crouch in the air, and you'll make it.
But I didn't know that, so I'm.
It isn't
I'm-
the easiest of jumps, but it is also this
I also.
up and down is pretty rough. I mean, technically you're doing it the intended way, but it's also really slow.
So now, going off of... Joe got me thinking about a new thing, where now I'm imagining Halo, where it's exactly the same, except instead of the Flood, it's the Flood, but like spelled F-L-U-D-D. And it's just Flood from Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, it's the exact.
Running around on its little, like,
And they just
handles.
and they don't even do damage, they just push you around.
When you
Score
when you land on the
water.
Halo, the Isle Delfino music just starts up.
And like the only way it'd be like Goombas, right? The only way they can kill you is if they like knock you off. So it's just like anytime, like you should never die to them, but when you do, you just feel defeated.
I'm
If
honestly.
you activate the Halo, it's gonna chuck the human race into the abyss.
That's what the hunters are under all that armor.
Just Piantos.
Chucksters.
Oh man, the Covenant's doing some Half-Life Combine stuff for integrating races.
You know, one good thing about enemies spawning infinitely, you just basically have like infinite ammo also.
More or less. You can also go back to the armory if you ever do run out of important ammo, like shotgun ammo.
Yeah.
I ain't going back in there.
There's infinite
invisible guys
enemies,
in there.
but also infinite ammo with which to shoot said enemies.
Brilliant.
Huzzah.
That's basically just Call of Duty.
Satisfying gameplay loop.
Some of them have satisfying gameplay loops.
I know my problem. I'm not letting it get out far enough to stand on the lip.
Yep.
So I can't jump up on it. I just have to go back up the ramp.
Yep.
God, I'm an idiot. Pass Trey, what are you doing?
Thank you for keeping this in, Trey.
You're welcome. I had to show me hitting all 4 of them.
The
Real
authentic
Halo
experience.
final level experience. Yeah.
Full Halo consequences.
Of note, I do.
Hey, last vending machine. What are we getting, boys?
I'm a fan of Reese's Pieces.
Nice choice.
See, I can eat like a few Reese's Pieces, but if I try to go for the whole bag, I just get sick. And that doesn't happen
Right.
with other Reese's candies for me.
Well, it's because Reese's
Wait.
Pieces bags are typically like double servings.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, what was the question?
Last vending
What
machine.
are we getting
what
from
you
the
getting?
vending machine?
Oh,
Wow. This game even has an escape sequence at the end.
That's right. Man, this escape
Nice
sequence is
Metroid ripoff.
really good, though. Like, it is really
it's
fun.
so good.
Like, this is
Dun,
one
dun,
of the
dun,
most
dun,
iconic
dun,
moments
dun,
in
dun, dun,
all of
dun.
the Halo games.
Yeah.
But the part when God, I almost called Master Chief Halo.
The part when
Part
John
when
Halo
Master
has
Chief
to
shot a
get off
bunch
the
of little
ship.
balloon guys,
Yeah.
and some zombie-like guys
Oh,
attacked
I've gone
him.
up the wrong door.
It's the part where John Halo activates all the vending machines on the ship and he has to fight through sentient popcorn to get to safety.
Is this just the Duke Nukem version of Halo?
No, this is like the Duke Nukem Christmas version of Halo.
Hey, popcorn, it gets stuck in my teeth.
So, do you guys remember the Warthog and how its physics isn't exactly super realistic, but it's really
Oh
fun?
my god.
So the
Oh no, are we gonna do like an A-team, like ride the tank off the plane?
not quite,
Yes?
but let's just say that the escape sequence is a Warthog sequence.
Oh
That's
boy.
jank and all.
Yo, yeah, it's great.
Except you're going through these exact same tiny corridors.
I mean,
the
you
escape
say
sequence
that.
is trying to squeeze a warthog through like people-sized hallways.
Yeah, say
just
that, but there
staring at
are,
the-
in fact, shortcuts you can take during the Warthog sequence that are
Yeah.
hallways that are this big.
You're just
I don't
staring
know
at the
if I
rear view
did.
lights the whole time.
Pretty much.
The license plate.
This is the most
Texas.
iconic part of Halo, and it's just like a warthog's ass rapidly
Oh,
vibrating
man.
as it's like crammed
Oh.
into a door.
Trey, that was
Oh my, not
almost
in front of
really
kids.
cool.
Yeah.
That was almost...
I
I wish that fuel rod cannon would have exploded a little bit quicker.
Gotta get those cloaked flood that might be hiding back where you came from.
Because that
Yeah,
fuel
I
rod
was-
cannon definitely looked like it was coming
How many
for you,
blast
but then
darts
it
had to
almost...
close there?
Several. This is going basically to the top of the ship.
That would be a good visual gag for like a sci-fi spoof or something. Just have a blast door that keeps closing like blast doors on top of blast doors.
The reason we did that is this is basically going to the very top of the ship, and so, like, if the top of the ship were to get breached, this cargo elevator would be voided, loss of atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. So if you don't hop in these fast enough,
They will
they'll
explode.
blow up.
Yeah, they explode.
Like that.
Choose your vehicle.
Yeah.
It's like a warthog, an overturned warthog that's on fire.
Alright, let's try that
An
again.
empty space.
There we go.
But I love that you immediately hit and rubber band off of the door.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, this is a
Okay,
really
this-
fun sequence.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna look a little boring to watch, probably, but like, driving this.
There's the door.
I don't know, it's a bit of an upgrade from what we were watching before.
True. Like,
Ooh.
like, this was one of.
At least you landed on some guys.
This is like one of the funnest moments of the game, honestly, because the warthogs are just like, they're like
Ray's
weaponized.
about to get stuck.
They're like weaponized jank.
Yeah. Like, they're really good for fishtailing enemies and for multiplayer, but like they're not practical.
They just
at all.
they're kind of like go-karts on ice. They just kind of bounce around everywhere.
Yeah.
and like they weigh about like
Hey, let's make a car that's just eternally hydroplaning.
Master
pretty
Chief's been
much.
getting into Mama Chief's secret formula.
Let's make a car with completely smooth wheels.
You know, that really does describe the existence of the Warthog, and it's also the Warthog is like it looks like it's a really big, heavy vehicle, but it is not.
What kills me is the Covenant hovercraft.
Oh, I guess-
has better physics than this.
Yeah, I guess the shortcut I was talking about aren't quite man-sized, because that was what I was thinking of there. So that was probably just bad rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine like an intentional shortcut being like actual.
I thought it was
like-
about a little bit larger than the Warthog, but that's probably just me mangling the memories of trying to get the Warthog into doors.
My goal is to hit every fucking wall.
Like they put pedestrian hallways in the final escape area.
Trey, it's not like Sonic 06. You don't have to abandon the
In
buggy.
case you crash your Warthog,
I mean-
and you just have to do the walk of shame the rest of the way. They
Yeah.
just give you like a little hallway that's just not as interesting, but like you can get there by walking. There's just no enemies or
So
anything.
Trey, you gonna wait for Foehammer?
Maybe.
But no, because one of the popular things that, like, if you talk to anyone that's played the Halo games or played them when they were young, they will most assuredly say that they also did, was trying to get vehicles into areas that you're not supposed to have vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. I remember trying to do that in Star Fox Assault,
I didn't think
which
there
is basically like Halo. It was like the closest I could get to having Halo because I wasn't allowed to play rated M games, and I didn't have a.
Hey, I wasn't even allowed to play
very good
T-rated
Xbox.
games.
Wait, really?
Yeah, man. It was a tough time for little Joe.
I remember for a while my mom was really heavy on the E ESRB ratings, and then just, like, I remember one day where she's just like, I don't care anymore. Buy whatever game you want. Oh, you are waiting for Foehammer.
Have I ever told the story on GCG about my buddy in elementary school whose dad bought him Conker's Bad Fur Day because he thought the
no.
M stood for mild? Just mild.
Oh,
It says mature under it.
I mean, he quickly took it away after he realized what it was, but for a while there,
There's a
Conker's Bad
shit
Fur Day.
monster in this game.
So, one little tiny detail that I do like. Okay, also, one tiny detail I don't like is that Banshee actually didn't have anyone in it. And when it was in the open position.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh no!
okay.
Oh god!
But one detail I like, right, is Cortana's been keeping that time to detonation HUD timer on your
here's
HUD.
the classic music.
She removes that timer whenever she still thinks that Foehammer is coming to save you, but it is still running.
Yeah.
So everything's exactly
Yes.
as it kind of would
Only
be.
1 kilometer left.
Yeah.
Speedrunners just like blow past her. It's like by Foehammer.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for a Foehammer. That event is scripted. She does die. It's rather unfortunate. Remember to tip your pilots.
My headcanon is she's still out there somewhere.
She's
Well-
out there somewhere, eternally crashing.
Yes.
Yes.
She
We
just
nev-
never hit the ground.
Oh,
It's like that train in Spider-Man 3.
I did forget, and I believe you did just
Still
pass
falling
it.
over to this day.
You either just passed it, or it is a little bit later. But if you're on Legendary, there is a grunt that is in one of those side passages that will not shoot you and will just say some wacky stuff. I can't remember.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember really much of what he says because it's been a long time. But they love to put little wacky Easter eggs in, especially in the first game. This first one is a
Yeah.
good bit more wacky than the rest because, you know, brand new IP, old style development team really having fun with each other.
They were allowed to be
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah, creative and fun.
This one's a lot more wacky than the other ones. Cue the montage of all the times Trey used the whack joke in this
Whack.
playthrough.
Wacky.
Oh, he's gonna do a grenade jump.
He failed.
I did.
Oh,
What if you killed yourself right there?
that's what I thought that was.
He almost did. He
It
was
was
down to like 2
another record
HP.
scratch.
Chief, you're so slow. What I want to know is, how does he know how to fly that thing?
Oh, the Spartans were trained in basically everything.
They were trained to be video game heroes.
Yeah.
Raised on gamer fuel.
I mean, it is... Monster is green.
Mhm.
I like that they still have their pants.
Yep.
I don't know why. Just
I mean, there's no reason for him to take them off.
I guess not.
Yeah. They're part of the Flood Brawlers Club. Pants are a requirement. They're part of the Skins Not Shirts Club.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's like in Dead Space where like you'll just see these necromorphs, like zombified guys, and like later on you'll just see some variants of them. They're just wearing like armored pants so that you can't cut their legs off.
I like that. I actually really like this part.
Yeah.
Because it shows you, like, the ring just disintegrating.
In addition to getting lucky with, this segment smacking into the
And
other
it
side.
smacks into Chief's ship.
Yeah. The ring was going to tear itself apart anyways. If any significant chunk of the ring is gone, its entire torque will basically just destroy itself. Because it rotates
because it is
fast enough to create 1g of gravity.
Yeah.
An entire Covenant armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice.
So, yeah. She's feeling a little remorse.
That should be the title of this part. Halo. It's finished.
I
Oh,
think we're just getting started.
Yep.
you
Halo
cheeky
2.
bastards.
They used the bowl of fruit to cover his head.
Yep. I mean,
Is that the name of the ship? The bowl
Uh,
of fruit?
there are a lot of really fun videos online about what Chief actually looks like under the helmet. My personal favorite is it takes this bit here and it like no clips the camera in, and it's just a video editor. He takes off the helmet and it's just another helmet.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I imagine there's like a video out there of someone like no clipping the camera in when he takes his helmet off, and there's just no head underneath.
Pretty much.
He just his suit just goes limp in the chair.
All right. Well,
So
that was it,
that
boys.
was Halo 1. Unfortunately, no credits. Because the credits are 45 minutes.
Wait.
It was a massive development team. Massive development team.
The credits would have taken
Man.
an entire episode just to watch.
That's almost as long as the credits for the Xbox version of Banjo
Was this game
Kazooie.
crowdfunded or something?
No.
I don't know.
Just
I
Bungie
think
was
it's just-
big, and they had to get a lot of outside help to
That's
make the
crazy.
deadline. Basically, all of the Halo games, except for the ones after 3, they pushed the deadlines a little bit.
They're not actually 40 minutes, are they?
They're like 20 or 30 minutes at least. Like they're
It's probably,
they're very
it's probably
big.
close to about 25. They do move the credits a
Yeah.
little slowly, but it was a pretty large development team. Bungie was
They
not
show
a small
one name
company
at
at
a
the time.
No.
I guess when we do Sonic Colors, we'll have to deal with 15-minute long credits, so...
Okay. You're gonna leave that in, aren't you?
Well, yeah, because it's
What's
part
worse is
you play the credits in that game. It's part of the game. But
Oh,
anyway,
boy.
Halo.
Oh. That's
What's
cool.
worse is the games that have like looping credits and they don't tell you that they're looping.
Oh god.
Want to know what's just about as bad? YouTube channels that have their endings go way long. Goodbye,
I love
everybody.
the YouTube videos that are like
Would anyone like to...
75% of the video is opening and ending, and then like 25 is actual video.
If there's anything left to say, would anyone like to sum up their thoughts on Halo before we sign off?
I think I've made my opinions of the game pretty clear.
I like it. It's like if Alien were a video game, but not an Alien game.
We're not Colonial Marines.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's like Isolation, but you're a super soldier.
So
They run
nothing
away
like
from
Isolation.
you.
So the opposite of isolation.
Yeah.
Master Chief like cowering in a locker as like a girl, as a Like a little grunt walks past.
I can't find him. I can't do it.
It looks like a pretty fun game. As someone who hasn't played it, it looks fun. Some of the level design seems like it could have been better, a little less repetitive.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
the core mechanics seem really like crunchy and satisfying, and I can see why people would really enjoy the multiplayer for that reason, just because the
Oh,
game
yeah.
itself plays so well.
That is one of the things about it. One of the big notable things about Halo is it was really the first good practical console shooter that had
Yeah.
a very good control scheme. Like, say what you want about GoldenEye, but its control scheme was not good.
Not good. I'm actually kind of realizing after having played Doom how much I think the reason GoldenEye had kind of a poopy control scheme, even though it had like the stuff on the controller to be able to do the traditional like 2-stick thing, is just because it was like, well, that's how Doom did
Yeah.
it, so we're gonna do it that way too.
Yep, and Halo was
it's
really the first big departure from that.
yeah, it's crazy how much you can justify kind of antiquated design just by, well, that's been the standard. When a little
That's what people
a
are
little
used
a
to.
little creativity and innovation can really sometimes
Right.
be good.
I mean, if you look at it now, every console shooter basically uses the control scheme that was established here in Halo.
Right.
Except for the location of the reload button.
Yeah.
And I'll
I mean-
never forgive any company that changes it.
Well,
Now,
there
if
is a
only
bit,
they would realize that gyro controls are better than analog sticks. For console games. For consoles. I know mouse and keyboard is optimal, but for console games.
I personally would take twin stick over gyro aim, but
I prefer gyro, like, as it also kind of like incorporates twin stick for like larger movements, and and gyro for just like the minor like
yeah,
tweaking.
I think I'm just at this point basically an old man for input. So, but yeah,
That's not how Halo did it.
what I do mean is Halo is the game that more or less pioneered the twin stick aiming system, and every console shooting game is twin stick
Yeah.
because it's useful. They also did pioneer.
actually, I
It
think
didn't necessarily catch on, but in the next in Halo 3, there was a control scheme that put jump on one of the bumpers, which allows you to
Oh.
aim while you're jumping on the console, and it's so good.
Trey, you seem dismayed hearing this. Why?
I don't. Jumping doesn't belong on the bumpers. It just doesn't.
It's so good though.
Well, hey, Ape Escape had jump on like one of the trigger buttons so that you could use the right stick
Yeah.
for like
Because if you
attack stuff.
have to lift your right
It
thumb
was so weird
off
for me.
of the aiming stick to press the A button, you can't move. You can't look around.
I guess like whenever I played like Overwatch on console, like Farah could jump with one of the bumpers because it was one of her powers.
Well, yeah, because she has a jump ability, and the abilities were
Yeah.
probably on bumpers. I never played on the
They
console,
were.
but no, the Halo did. It's called Bumper Jumper. You know,
I
Bumper
could,
jumper.
pretty understandably so. Halo 3 control scheme, because that's when the 360 was the first one with bumpers.
I could be swayed, but that sounds weird.
It's really useful. So, like, any of the times where you, like, missed a jump because you couldn't slightly turn in the air? Or, like, you couldn't shoot something because you were trying to jump past it?
What if you have big thumbs and can push it with half of your thumb and then
Then that's
still keep
really big
piloting?
thumbs.
I have big thumbs.
Big thumbs.
So,
I
in
guess-
conclusion, Halo Combat Evolved
Bumper
is
jump.
a good game,
Yes.
but it's not as good as
Big
Halo
thumbs.
Combat Evolved 2 Bumper Jumper.
Halo
Yes.
Combat Evolved is a good game for people with big thumbs.
That's right.
If you have small
Yeah.
baby thumbs, then the newer Halos might be more your speed.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, all you small-thumbed people. That's the end of the first Halo.
See you next year for
Thanks.
Halo 2.
Yeah,
Maybe.
eventually.
baby!
Bye, y'all.
Where we'll finish the fight.
Later.
continue the fight to finish at a later date.
Yes.
And